Edwina, please switch on the video. I feel like we are meeting after ages. Happy New Year. We met last year, no? Do you remember anything of the last chapter? At least the title? Yes? How was the New Year? Normal? As usual? Okay. Switch on the videos, please. Samal, Sana. Okay, we were supposed to complete this chapter in 2020, but we could not. So we'll finish it today, probably. Did you read the proactive and retroactive indifference? Yes, everyone? Ashish looks different. What happened? What happened, Ashish? You look so different. Haircut. New haircut.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. Please take the review questions. Page 148. Switch on your videos, Grishman Sana. Yes, we'll start. Meghna, you can start.
What is the meaning of the terms encoding, storage, and retrieval?
Yes. You must be knowing what is encoding, storage, and retrieval. Explain in your own words.
Encoding is the saving the information, no,
Registering. Yes.
and the storage is saving up the information. Retrieval is taking the information which is stored.
Okay. Yes. So you have it in the textbook. I'll send the notes today itself. From that you can copy down. Yes. So encoding, storage, and retrieval, they are the basic processes that any piece of information goes through in order to get into our memory system. So first it will be registered, then it will be stored somewhere, then it will be recalled, or it will be taken back, or it will be retrieved. That is the three process, that is encoding, storage, and retrieval. We learned it using the example of the files. When we register something and keep it as files, especially in government organization and all. Remember? Yes, yes. When we need that, we'll take it back. That is the retrieval process. Okay, fine. Now, next question. Aishwarya, can you read?
How is information processed through sensory, short-term, and long-term memory systems?
Yes, sensory short term and long term memory system. Which model did we learn regarding sensory short term and long term? After information processing model, we learned one model by Atkinson and Shiffrin. What was that model's name? Based on three different stages, that is sensory, short term, and long term. What model? The three stages. Anybody?
Stage model.
Stage model, yes, correct. And how is the processing taken place in sensory system? First information comes. Remember that diagram we learned? Yes. First information comes, then what happens?
Information is received in the sensory.
Sensory system. Yes.
Then its duration is very less.
Yes. As compared to the other two system, duration is very less.
Then after attending to it, it goes to the short-term memory
Yes.
system.
If we pay attention to the information, then it is transferred into the short-term memory system, also known as S. Short form. Short form.
STM.
STM. Yes, correct. Then.
Then after elaborative
Elaborative rehearsal.
rehearsal, it will go to the long-term memory where duration is more
Yes,
and
more information can be stored and can be stored for a longer period of time. Okay, and in order to maintain in the long term system, what should we do? Just like elaborative rehearsal, we have one more rehearsal to maintain it in the LTM. What is it called? Note that and keep. Okay, maintenance rehearsal. Maintenance rehearsal. So, paying attention, that is selective attention, elaborative rehearsal, maintenance rehearsal, all these comes under the control processes that we learned. Fine. Next question. Yes, Elvina, can you read?
How are maintenance rehearsals different from elaborative rehearsals?
We discussed that now itself. Just describe in your own words how are maintenance rehearsal different from elaborative rehearsal. From the word itself, you can understand maintenance and elaborative.
Elaborative rehearsals, which is
Hmm.
it is already existing the information in the long-term memory,
Hmm.
and it is carried through silent or vocal repetition,
Yes.
and um, it involves organizations of the incoming information in many ways possible.
Hmm.
And in maintenance rehearsal,
Hmm.
the short-term memory retain the information for as much time as required.
Yes, short-term memory retains, and then if we transfer it into the long-term memory, we have to maintain it there, isn't it? For that also we use maintenance rehearsal, which means for it to be remained, you have to rehearse it continuously. For any information, just like your ABCD, you have been revising it, isn't it? You have been using it every now and then from your childhood, right from the moment you learned about the alphabets of the English language. You have been continuously using it. You have been continuously learning it. You still remember A to Z, isn't it? Alphabet. That is because you have been maintaining, you have been doing rehearsals to maintain it in your long term memory. Understood? Okay, that's the difference between elaborative and maintenance rehearsal. Good. Now, next one is fourth question. Who will read? Amal, can you read? Fourth one. Differentiate between
Differentiate between declarative and procedural memories.
declarative and procedural memories. Procedural memory, otherwise known as non declarative memory. Differentiate. Declarative and non-declarative. One is something that you can actually explain about. Another one is something which you cannot explain about. Explain in terms of words. That is, verbal explanation is possible for one particular type of memory, and non-verbal, that is the action form, is the other type of memory. Which is that? Declarative or non-declarative? Forgot everything in the last year, left everything there and came. Amal, anybody who knows declarative and non-declarative?
for declarative memory, we can express it in words
Hmm.
or we can explain it in terms of words, but in non-declarative, we cannot explain it in terms of words.
Can you give me one example each?
For declarative memory, for example, teaching a certain subject, you can explain it.
Hmm.
But in, for example, for non-declarative memory,
Hmm.
teaching a child to ride a bicycle, it's hard
Yes.
to explain.
Yes,
It
we have to
obviously requires
do it
action.
and show, isn't it? That is the difference between declarative and non-declarative memory. That is why non-declarative is also known as procedural memory. Procedural means we have to do the procedure and show them, to teach them or to put it into their memory. Understood? I'll just draw that flow chart once more. So it will be a revision for you. Long-term memory, it is divided into two. What are they, Amal? Long-term memory divided into two. We just discussed now. What are they? Declarative, hmm,
and declarative and
re-
proceed,
declarative and
procedural.
procedural. Can you see? Can you see properly?
Yes, ma'am.
LTM divided into two. That is declarative and non-declarative. Yes, non-declarative is also known as procedural memory. And declarative has two types. Remember? One is related to the main episodes in your lives. Another one is related to the general knowledge, the meaning of things and all. Anybody remember?
Episodic and semantic.
Ah, yes, correct. Episodic and semantic. Okay. So when you get these terms, declarative and non-declarative, from the name itself, you can write something that you can declare to another person. That is known as declarative. Something that you cannot declare. That is something that you cannot explain to another person in terms of words. That is known as non-declarative. Or that is why this particular memory system or that particular memory of long-term memory, type of long-term memory, it is known as non-declarative because you cannot verbally explain it to another person. Understood? Okay? Registered? Yes? Stored? Encoded? Stored? Now I don't know when this will be lost. Fine. Next one. Yeah, fifth question is not there. Just cut it off. Describe the hierarchical organization in long-term memory. Wait. That is there. Yes. That is the flowchart that we drew just now. Okay, declarative, non-declarative. In the declarative, we have two. That is episodic and semantic. That is the answer for fifth one. Okay, sixth question. Ashish, read. Easy one.
Why does forgetting take place?
Forgetting or forgetting?
Forgetting take place.
Why does forgetting take place? Tell me. Search. I know you can't retrieve from your memory. Search in the text.
Mm.
Page 142. 143 basically. Nature and causes of forgetting. We learned three main causes of forgetting. One is forgetting due to unmute. 143. Forgetting due to trace.
Indifference.
Interference. That is one. Then next is forgetting due to
Retrieval failure.
retrieval failure. Before that, first one. Trace.
Trace decay.
Yes, trace decay. Forgetting occurs because of three main reasons. One is because of the trace decay. According to this particular theoretical concept, When a memory is formed, then a memory trace is formed in a brain, that is in the central nervous system. A memory trace is formed. When that trace is decayed, when that trace is not used, that is when that memory is not used, then what happens? That is decayed, trace decay. I'll just show that. Yes, what happens is, if this is a memory system, a trace about a piece of information is formed. When this particular trace is not used, or this particular information is not used for a very long time, then what happens? This fades away. This thing fades away slowly. Understood? That is trace decay theory of forgetting. Now, next one is interference theory, the one which I asked you to read and come about two interferences. Okay, retroactive and proactive interferences. Then, next one is because of retrieval failure. Retrieval failure means the inability to give yourself certain retrieval cues so that you can take or recall that memory back into your conscious state. That is the retrieval failure, forgetting due to retrieval failure. They are the three reasons why forgetting occurs. Then, yes, seventh one. We'll read. Meghna.
How is retrieval related forgetting different from forgetting due to interference?
Yes. How is it different?
For the interference, it's two types.
Hmm.
Retroactive and proactive. The retroactive is we remember the old materials, and proactive is we remember new materials. And for retrieval failure, the cues are absent or inoperative,
Hmm.
and it's maybe absent.
Retroactive means, just repeat once more.
Retroactive is we remember old memories or material, and proactive means we remember new materials.
Is she correct? Others confusion. Aishwarya, according to you, what is retroactive interference?
In retroactive, we remember new things, right?
Retroactive, we remember new things. So we find it difficult to remember earlier. Okay. Ashish, according to you, what is retroactive? No idea? Confused?
Sorry, ma'am, I don't know.
I don't know. Okay. Amal. Amal is searching. No, you know. Okay, then tell me.
I don't know.
You don't know. Okay. Now, next one. Elvina.
In retroactive, the things like proactive,
Ah,
when we try to learn new things, but the old things will come and interfere.
okay.
But in retroactive, the things which have learned already, the new, then we try to recollect the old.
Ah, Sambar. Okay, open page number 144. Who is that? Okay. Yes, just read. The people who told me don't know, please search in the textbook. It is clearly given in the textbook. Happily sitting there. Ashish is styling his hair between. Hmm. Yes. What happened? Found out? Yes, found out. Ashish. No. Amal, found out? Yes, tell me. Retroactive means
Ma'am, retroactive. It means new interference. See, when learning new things. Yeah. Yeah.
Tacitus complaint.
Huh?
Uh-uh. Tell me, tell me. I didn't understand what you said.
Uh,
Hmm.
Ma'am, it means to recall the earlier things because of new learning materials.
Bits and pieces. Just read and understand and then tell me. Now itself. Others understood? Ashish found out? Yes? Uh-uh. Not getting it. No. Meghna got it. Who was correct?
ശരി.
Ashish was correct. Okay. Now the something related to this retrograde amnesia and anterograde amnesia is there. I think it's the entirely opposite concept. So you'll confuse things when you come to the 12th grade because we have so many disorders to learn in 12th grade. So make this clear here itself and then go to plus 2. Retroactive, just learn retroactive and you can write the opposite for proactive. I think Elvina learned the proactive first and then she's trying to find the retroactive. Anyways, whichever way you are comfortable, learn that first. Don't learn both of them together. Learn one and keep so that next one, it will be the entirely opposite one. Yeah, retroactive means retroactive. Retro means what I told you, the olden times. So you'll forget the old material. Okay, that is the retroactive. Just read that line. Retroactive backward moving, which refers to difficulty in recalling what you have learned earlier because of learning a new material. Okay, so earlier material or the older material you'll forget. You cannot recall properly. That is the retroactive interference. Please note that. Okay, then what evidence do we have to say that memory is a constructive process? That is the portion. Memory as a constructive process by Bartlett. Bartlett. Yes. Page number 142. Memory as a constructive process. In that, what happens is earlier memory was considered as a reproductive process, which means we just store something in our memory and we recall the exact same material when the need comes. When we want to use that information, we recall that information exactly or as such as it was earlier. Then, according to the constructive process, what Bartlett says is that we store some information according to our motivation, according to our goals, according to our needs. We keep on changing that particular information according to our own ways. That is, I taught you one definition or I taught you some textbook definition. But when I ask you, you modify it in some ways which you are comfortable with, and then you recall that back, you reproduce that back. So that is why it is called memory is a constructive process. And the main person who contributed to that theoretical concept is Bartlett. And the other person, remember? Those who stood for the reproductive view of memory. Remember the person's name? Anyone?
Ebbingus.
Ebbingus. Herman Ebbingus. Okay. Now, next question. Define mnemonics. Suggest a plan to improve your own memory. Nice question. Ashish, what are mnemonics? Yes, Ashish. What are mnemonics? Hmm, Found out. Confident.
It is the numerical structure of improving memory.
What structure?
Num-
There
number
are
of the
number of
structure.
strategies. Strategies
Strategies
for
for improving
memory.
memory called a mnemonic.
Mnemonics. So what are mnemonics? They are
Number of strategies.
they are strategies used for what?
Improving
For improving
memory.
memory. Okay, fine. What do you use to improve your memory, or what do you use to recall some information that you have learned? How do you usually learn things? For exam, for instance, for exam, how do you learn things?
Reading and writing.
Reading and writing, and then to keep it in your memory, what do you do?
Learn.
Just keep on reading and writing.
Learn.
How do you learn?
Relatively.
Relating to what? Huh?
Some other things
Some other things,
relating to
like for example, just give me one example. How do you learn things? No, from your own experience, tell me.
for photosynthesis.
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
present my mother as the leaf and the example and explain the in example.
The preparing food and all.
Yes.
Okay, yes. So that will be related to, there are two types of mnemonics. One is related to images, another one is related to organization. So this example which Ashish told, that will come under which category? Images or organization? Others. Question is to others. Hmm. Mother being visualized as the leaf, or the leaf being visualized as the mother. That is an example of visual or the image type of mnemonics or the organization type.
Image.
Image type, yes. And we have two types in the image section. What are they? Amal,
Ma'am,
you all are not
key,
using mnemonics properly. That's why you can't recall.
keyword method.
Keyword method,
Ma'am, method of loci.
method of loci. So keyword method was remember we learned pato, I think. Yes, pato. I drew a seemingly duck. Remember? I drew something similar to a duck, and then we used a pot. Then we imagined the duck is drinking water from the pot, related that to the word pato. Yes. So pato is the word for duck, I think. Yes. And that was the keyword method. Then method of loci was related to the different positions that we set. This, and then I told you the example of the movie Tanmatra. Remember? The corridor, the flower pot, the window, the gate, all those things. Okay, that is the method of loci. Now, in mnemonics using organization, we have chunking and first letter technique. Chunking was the grouping of all the elements into smaller chunks. And the first letter technique, what was first letter technique? I should have given an example of first letter technique.
Picture,
Vibgyor. Vibgyor stands for what, Elvina?
Rainbow
Rainbow
colors,
colors. Yes. What are the rainbow colors?
violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange, and red.
Oh, thank God. Okay. So that is the first letter technique. Any other example for first letter technique? Anybody? Ashish is telling something.
USA,
USA. What is USA?
United States of America,
United States of America. Okay. And UK?
United Kingdom,
United
Kingdom,
Kingdom. Some people say United Kochi.
United Kodangalam.
United Kodamangala. Yeah. You're from Kodamangala, no?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So with that, we end our portion. Any doubt? I'm not asking any doubt. You will have doubt only when you start studying. So how was the how many chapters? 7 chapters. Ashish, which was your favorite one? Most favorite and least favorite. Don't even remember the headings, no? Yes,
Learning
learn.
is interesting.
Okay. Okay, we'll wind up then. Thank you.